Pest control services here are plagued by a labour crunch and a surge in demand, made worse by rising dengue cases. Now, that means customers may soon have to fork out more to engage their services. Clara Lee looks at what's being done to manage cost pressures and the manpower shortage.
Pest busters like Romsey are now highly sought after. With dengue cases on the rise, demand for their services are up 20%. But this has come at a tricky time. With borders reopening and Malaysians making up around a third of their team, it's been difficult to meet customer requests.
In fact, 50% of my Malaysian staff has already gone back to Malaysia. So we will take turns, and the moment the 50% comes in, the other 50% has to go and see the family. Meanwhile, we are just coping. Even my supervisors and managers are just fogging in to make sure that we continue our service.
But even with all hands on deck and some taking on multiple roles, it's still not a permanent solution. To make things worse, inflation has been pushing up the cost of living. Pest control companies like this one have risen salaries by around 20%. But combined with the rising cost of fuel and chemicals, this may eventually be passed down to consumers in the form of higher prices, which could kick in a matter of months. They're looking to artificial intelligence to help ease some of the manpower issues. By July, Pest Busters plans to roll out a scheduling system run by AI, programmed to manage the roster and delegate jobs on its own. Other exterminators are also exploring ways to navigate around rising petrol costs.
We've been making plans to convert our entire fleet of vehicles into electric vehicles. So then that in one sense we will mitigate the cost, and then we try as much as possible not to pass on any rising costs to our consumers.
This firm also uses a monitoring software to map out trap locations and pest counts. The data can preempt seasonal trends and allocate workers accordingly. Discussions are also underway between industry players and the government on more efficient service arrangements.
Instead of having a contract based on a number of people for a certain number of hours at a certain location, we're looking towards having certain thresholds and pest numbers that you cannot exceed at a certain location so that we reward productivity instead of just having manpower there just for the sake of it.
But with dengue likely to keep bugging us until the traditional peak season in June, pest controllers are itching for a faster solution.